Can you start it?
Everyone.
Oh, oh,
Done.
okay. One, two, three. So, good morning to everyone, and very warm welcome to our exclusive webinar masterclass series. And this time, we are discussing about STEM MBA Get Future Ready, brought to you by IIM University, Greater Noida. And I'm Dr. Akhil Damodaran, Dean of School of Management here at IIM. And it's our absolute pleasure to have all of you join us today, from LinkedIn Live especially. As the world around us continues to transform at a rapid pace, the need of unique blend of management and STEM education has become much more crucial. For that, today we are here to explore how a STEM-focused MBA in Ireland can not only equip you with technical expertise, but also empower you to strategic management equipment, understanding the holistic way of society, and also to make you prepare for to be the future-ready leader who is going to be, getting into a ecosystem which is completely different from what you see today. It will have AI, it will have cybersecurity, it will have analytics in a different way, the way you have never seen. I'm thrilled to be joined by none other than my esteemed Professor Dr. Nihar Amankar, Director of School of Management and Pro Vice Chancellor of IIM University. Dr. Nihar is a change maker and a visionary both in the field of management education. He has seen management education not only from the Indian perspective but also from a foreign perspective. He has experience in UK and he has seen the entrepreneurial ecosystem as a professional and as a teacher both. And for that, I really, really admire that he has come. We both have a discussion today. Welcome, Dr. Nihal. It's always inspiring to have a conversation with you. And I know our audience will have a treat today to understand exactly how this whole new flavor of MBA, STEM MBA is going to be. And before we dive into the crux of today's session, I would love to, you can put some thoughts on why the STEM integrated MBA is going to be, the future must needed MBA for aspiring professionals, and it's going to be a game changer for the ecosystem. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Akhil, for that very kind introduction. We don't know about being visionary, but one thing that we are very sure about is that we recognize that the management education as it is being delivered in this country for the last 50, 60 years since the start of the first B school, more than that perhaps, it has changed. And what has brought that change? So let me emphasize on that piece first. So one is, the country's economy, the way it is being shifting. So from the time that you look at 1990s, in terms of the liberalization to now, the kind of industries that are being emphasized by the government, and also, as you mentioned, the startup ecosystem, the direction in which the young startups are going, both are very much tech driven. So, for example, when it comes to the major focus of the finance ministry in this term, in this year's budget, was on quantum computing, was on the semiconductors, was on creating the ecosystem to enable tech businesses to emerge, right? So, and at the same time, the advantage is being taken by young people. You see the startups that are coming, the ones who are really shining within the country, the ones who are reaching the unicorn status, they are mainly tech driven businesses. So what that means is that there is a lot of excitement, there is a lot of appetite among entrepreneurs and among the policymakers to make the Indian business ecosystem take lead on the world stage through tech enabled businesses or technology businesses, right? So I think that is the macroeconomic shift that we are seeing over the last 20 years, wherein while we had the TCSs and the Infosys and the HCLs of the world really become big at the world level, but you see these were mainly service driven businesses, right, catering to the Western organizations. But now, if you look at the startup ecosystem in India, what is really under focus and what really impresses me is that they don't have a service orientation, they have a innovation orientation. So that means they want to create products that the world will use. So India is going from being a back-end service provider to the US technology businesses or US businesses to be really becoming a powerhouse in terms of driving the next big technology shifts within the world. AI being one of them, right? So we are seeing that happen. Now, what does that mean for us as business schools? As business schools, we are seeing over the years that we have worked with the recruiters, we are seeing the kind of changes in job descriptions that are coming, right? At one point in time, when it came to learning an IT subject within an MBA curriculum, I remember management information systems used to be the only subject that was core. Rest everything was pushed into the electives, right? Whether you want to then get into the more details of it, then you would do it as an elective. Or more so, what MBA colleges used to do is they used to prefer engineers to join these courses and hope that the engineering background of these students will then help technology businesses capitalize in terms of how they integrate technology, how they transform digitally. But that is not adequate. We are seeing that today. If you look at the job description of any technology business manager or a analyst role that comes into our B school, they require you to have certain expertise. So from visual analytics, when it comes to Python or when it comes to Tableau or Power BI, these are essential. At the same time, we are seeing more use of technology based languages such as SQL within the field of finance, right? We are seeing a lot of data science being used in terms of driving consumer behavior marketing. So these are no more of fringe subjects within an MBA curriculum. These are now core in the sense managers of the future are now expected to know this. So as a business school, we have recognized that change. We have recognized that we cannot train students, particularly from the engineering background, the same way as we were training them over the last 40, 50 years, because now there are specialist roles that are coming up for them within different companies, right? And the macro shift that we talked about at the beginning of the webinar is something that is driving it. So the need for this program, the STEM MBA, has come from not the universities driving the change, it is the market driving the demand. So there is a lot of demand for managers who are technologically fluent, who are comfortable handling technology and can help businesses digitally transform or help businesses integrate technology which will drive their next growth chapter. So now this is a difficult task for, let's say, somebody coming from a non-technology or non-engineering background or a non-science background, because you need a strong base in mathematics, you need a strong base in statistics, you need some base in programming, you need to be aware of different domains like these. So it is not easy for somebody coming from a non-STEM background to come and do such a degree. That is why this degree is called a STEM MBA, because it is basically curated for people coming from science, technology, engineering, and maths background. So it is very specifically, curated curriculum wherein we have worked with the industry over the last 18 months and really asked them that what is it that you need, right, in terms of technology managers or managers of technology within your businesses. And we have looked at the job descriptions, we've talked to senior leaders, the chief technology officers, the chief digital officers of different sectors, from banking to insurance to others. And we have use these insights to sort of create the curriculum. So it's almost like a design thinking approach. So we've kept the industry at the center of our, center of our design, and we've said, okay, based on their needs over the next 15, 20 years, we are going to create a curriculum. So this curriculum is going to capitalize on the knowledge of people coming from engineering, science, or technology background. It does not render their undergraduate degree obsolete. See, if you are doing an engineering degree, you do an MBA, a general MBA. Let's say you major in marketing, end up in sales. Nothing wrong with that, because a lot of times you need technology background to sell technology products. But what we are saying here is this is not the pathway we are opting for you when you join this program. These programs mean that you will end up in a technology managerial role within organizations. So you will end up as an analyst, you will end up as a transformation manager, you will end up as a digital a champion within organizations. So it will be an extension of your engineering education with a managerial focus. So the curriculum is designed in such a way that it extends on your undergraduate degree, which is from science, technology, engineering, or mathematics background, and then extends it to all the way to your first job. Right. So if you're serious about pursuing a career in technology, but then also have an MBA which will help you rise all the way to the top within that organization, then the STEM MBA is for you.
I think good point, sir. Good point. I think what you have said is a very important, crucial part that that if the future if you belong to the future, then you need to make sure that you understand the tech part very well, and you need to understand that if you want to be the future leader, technology is something which you cannot take it up. With I think let me put a small point here before I come back to you. That I think I think you may also agree with me that if you look at 10 years back, technology was more of a support system. If the time when we used to do MBA and IT and all those things, IT was always taken as a support function to the major crucial departments, which include HR, finance, including strategy, all those things. IT is always a support system, which that is how the ERP and everything has come to fruition. But today, I think that will be a mistake to look at if you look at that, the technology is a support system because technology is what leading others departments towards the front. I mean, technology is the product, technology is also the ecosystem. The first time we see both as one. So if you look at that ecosystem, I think this is also important to understand that the STEM MBA is not only making the student understand the technology from the theoretical part of it, we are also making sure the student understand the technology from the working point of view. A practicing manager, person who not only understands. I mean, let me go back one step before that. If somebody says that, okay, you want to make a manager, technology manager. So what are you going to teach? So when I say I'm going to teach them Python, then I'm surely going to teach them Python the way a computer science engineer is taught in their class. I mean, the sense because the world is so much changing and the demand is also increasing in terms of skill set, that as a manager in a 2 to 3 years of time, or who is going to lead a technology product, I think it is expected to them for them to understand the technicalities as good as what a BTech engineer needs to have. And the reason for that is not that everybody needs to understand the coding and everything. The reason is most of the way the world is moving. Let me tell you to all students who are sitting here. Uh, there is a very high chance, which is true. It's not just I'm giving a prediction, but it's a true truth. Is that with more and more future coming up, I think coding is really going to get obsolete in terms of manually you doing it. It will be AI which will be doing it most of the time. With that thing into mind, if you look at it, now as a manager, it is expected that you are also understanding how a technical part of a product works as deeper as an engineer should be. Why? Because the rest of the things AI will do. So as an ecosystem, there are three, four things which is important for the student. The first is understanding the customer renewal. That's where the management comes in picture. You understand the ecosystem, the market, but also understand how this product's technical nature is affecting that market, the way an engineer thinks of. Because I'm telling you, this is a fact. I'm telling to all the students here who are going to go STEM MBA. 3 years from now, the way a manager will be looked at is that he understands how to develop the product, to deploy the product. I mean that the whole life cycle becomes one for a manager. This is going to happen. That is the major reason why we both decided that let's design an MBA which really prepares us to do that. And we made it three pathways for that. Why these three pathways? That also is important. The world will, in the next 3 to 4 years, the world is going to end up in three major. domains, which will be very crucial. The first is the AI, which is a driving force for everything. But when I say AI is driving everything, that means data science. That is because the data is going to be the asset more. It's like even today it is petrol for the IT industry, but it's going to be the real one. I mean, you will find data in stock market also. I mean, it's seriously this is going the way data will be taken as an asset. Third will be cybersecurity because as AI is going to drive the force, data management, data analytics becomes much bigger. Security also becomes a crucial part of it. That is how the three pathways are going to be. So we wanted a complete picture of ecosystem in that MBA. And that's the reason these three pathways came out. And mark my words, you can go to any reference journals and everything. Everybody's saying the same thing. That these are the three areas which where the market will end up. So that's the reason why we want to make people aware of it. So, Dr. Nihal, let me now go back to this one that what is the way we have changed the mode of operation in the MBA? I mean, pedagogy wise, or how the industry will be integrated in this. If you can highlight on that, I think that will be a really good part for the students to understand.
No, I think what you said just now is the exact reason why we need to integrate the industry. Because while a lot of people are saying the same thing, but at the same time, the technology is evolving at such a pace that we really don't know what AI might and might not be able to do. Right? There are a lot of senses, but we are yet to see, and every day the argument is changing. So in terms of partnering, we knew that we wanted some partner who has been there and done that at a very high level to come and work with us on this program. So while I was saying that industry was consulted in designing this curriculum, we also took the decision to partner with HCL Technologies. Now they are the ones who bring the technology expertise, because they have the teams, they have the talent, they have the resources of people who have worked on these projects before within tech companies. They have handled technology, they have managed technology based projects, they have delivered these projects, they have handled clients. So you will get a lot of real world knowledge within the classroom. So this STEM MBA is not going to be something that will be taught into the classroom. Yes, the conceptual frameworks will be taught into the classroom, but a lot of it will be very much application based. So, for example, this year you may remember we ran the HCL Business Analytics live project, which was simulated based on the previous projects that HCL were running for its clients. So this kind, and there were project managers from HCL to sort of mentor and handhold the students along with our faculty. So now what that does is that gives the student an outlet to see how what they learned into the classroom actually applies into the real world, and it also exposes them to the real world problems. So for example, a project manager has to handle the shifting goalposts from the client. They might change their specifications, they might change their requirements. A certain technological shift may happen while the project is ongoing, which may require you to rethink the entire approach. Now you have to think on your feet, you have to solve the problem. Now this problem solving skill is something that an engineer has been trained for over the 4 years, right, in their engineering undergrad education. So that is something that our students then get exposed to. So that is a one nature of pedagogy. The other nature of pedagogy is the link to our incubator. So we have, as the 11,000 square feet of incubator space. Now, what that does is that gives you an access to an entrepreneurship ecosystem. So we already are host to a lot of technology businesses. A lot of our mentors come from technology businesses. So that is where you can go and start tinkering on certain ideas. I mean, you can look at product innovation, you can look at process innovation, you can start using some of the knowledge that you are going to be learning in the classroom to go and actually try it out. There are a lot of startups over there that need talent like the ones that we will have in our STEM MBA to help them with some of these issues. So what that again does is gives you that exposure, the real world exposure. So it is about a lot of emphasis on doing is the change in way this the pedagogy will be. Because see, what does a STEM MBA equip you to do? It helps you bridge the gap between technical teams and management. Now that has always been a struggle because you have a technical team who is extremely so to say, technical, and then you have the management team who struggles. Like even for me, for in my own lived experience, as AI is coming more and more into the fore, and you are somebody who's using it more and more in terms of pedagogy, we have to adapt. We cannot just sit back and say that no, the what we did over the last 10 years will work now going forward. We have to change, we have to learn, we have to unlearn a lot of things that we learned in the past. We have to learn new things. So now it is, as you said before, it is essential for me to know what is going on. So that is what this degree will help students do. Second is innovation leadership. Now, not everybody within a company has the innovation orientation, but usually engineers and people from STEM backgrounds are trained for that because they keep experimenting, they keep solving problems, right? So what happens is you by default have an innovation orientation. You don't look at the same problem the same way as a non-STEM person will. You look at problems differently because you are taught to look at problems differently. Now that is something that companies want to capitalize on. Now how do we unlock that through pedagogy? Is give you more projects, live projects to work on. So that will make sure that when you go into your first job, you have already gotten some exposure during your MBA about proving yourself. So it is a much seamless transition, right? And it think about it as a competitive edge. I mean, you look at it, 15 lakh engineers pass every year, right? In the engineering degree in this country, a lot of them do an MBA after that, right? But how many of them actually land up in a tech, in a role that they really wanted? So this degree is about giving you an competitive edge in the sense you will stand out from the crowd. Okay, everybody has got an MBA. There might have been some IT analytics, data science courses in there, but it is not a STEM MBA. A STEM MBA means from day one, you are taught, yes, there will be a little bit of finance, marketing, operations, and HR, but at the same time, semester two, you start into the technology subjects. So, managing digital transformation, IT enabled businesses, digital businesses. So, we start exposing you to this ecosystem very early on. So, this is not a MBA which is pivoted towards a technology management specialization. No, this is a from the scratch, true to the core STEM MBA, which is a completely new degree into the market.
I mean, great point, sir. I mean, you have really given a flowchart exactly how the 2 year looks like. Okay, and how the industry is going to be integrated. And seriously, all the students, I'm telling you, when we say integrating the industry, we have integrated with the best. I mean, in the sense, HCL is one of the most important companies in India who is working on AI and has a client ecosystem, which is actually they are delivering for the AI service. So there's nothing more you can expect from an MBA where you have an industry partner who has a live scenario and you're going to solve it in the class and getting the feedback from the project manager that from the industry. Nothing like that. I mean, that's the best you can ever get it. Second point is what Sir has very rightly said about the incubation. Now, here the point is this is a particular MBA where we are focusing that even for it's not only creating your startup, but also all the rest of the startups which are there in the incubation, we also want the STEM MBA students to help them to create the product, should help them to market those products. Because of your technicality, which is going to be improving every year, every semester, it is important that you also understand how it is implemented in the market, how to get the go-to-market strategy, and all those things are very important part, which is centered on incubation. I mean, that's the reason why incubation becomes a very important part of your crucial MBA of 2 years. It's not an option, it's a part of your curriculum. With that, I think now let me should shift gears here. So, okay, so if you look at the STEM MBA curriculum, we also are, with NEP in picture, we also making sure the student also understand the society as a because we also wanted that not only they understand the technology part, which is the core part, no doubt, and second, the management function, but also to get them some exploratory ideas, some ability enhancement courses and value added courses, just to make sure that they also understand the society as a whole. In a sense, just to understand how other things works. And the good part here is this is where uh, we as a university are giving flexibility to students. So some of the courses they can also integrate with other schools which we have. So we have the schools in law, let's say computer science, and liberal studies. So it's not just that you're only going to be equipped in the technology ecosystem, but from the technology ecosystem, from the technology lens, you're going to look at different perspective of areas. So we wanted that this should be a complete package. That's exactly what this MBA looks like. Because 2 to 3 years down the line, I'm telling you frankly, AI is not a gimmick. It is there. It is there. And ChatGPT is just 1% of it. What you see after 3 years will be a much gigantic ecosystem that will much 100,000 times more than what ChatGPT is. You should be able to work in that ecosystem. We are the only university where we are developing AI in-house. In a sense, and why we're saying is, see, to all the students here, where things gets failed is, when we have a certain element which we want to deliver, and in-house we are incapable to do that, and we try to outsource it to people, and sometimes it works, sometimes it will not work. This is the first time that you as a student and the faculties both are working in the same ecosystem. In the sense, you will be able to develop AI products. You'll be able to work on customization of how to train an LLM for management students, which is not there in anywhere else. We are going to do that, give you to the same thing. Not only that, if once you get an admission, you'll understand that many of the processes in ILM, we have made it AI enabled in-house, not from any external partner. Why we are doing it? Because we want the student should be able to create if they have an idea, they should be able to create a product out of it, or an ecosystem out of it. And AI is an enabler for that. And we want that ecosystem be part of your curriculum, your design, your ecosystem, so that once you come out of 2 years of MBA, for you, you're not an alien to these technologies. You're so adaptable, because I'm telling you, by Gartner's report, a manager in 2027 needs to be technologically adaptable. And when I say technologically adaptable, a time when the technology is going to be growing every 3 months. Every 3 months. I mean, every 3 months you will see a change in the technology landscape. And to be very adaptable to it, you have to swim in it. And that's exactly what we are to give it, what we are trying to give in Arab industry. With that, I think we have given a good conclusion to our MBA, STEM MBA, and I hope everybody has understood exactly what this MBA all about. Dr. Nihar, any final words to students? I think they're all eager to
No,
know more.
I think you've said it. No, see, everybody at one point in time had to shift to using computers with the same. So while that may seem very easy today for us, but a lot of people will have to go through a similar sort of journey when it comes to adopting AI, right? And see, it is about then how you use it. So what Dr. Akhil was saying is that it is very important to know how to use the tool so that you know how to use it in different contexts. So for example, you might end up as a financial analyst in working in a financial company, and then you need to know how to use these platforms to analyze the quantitative data, to make investment recommendations. You might end up in a logistics company. Logistics is a huge booming sector. How to streamline the logistics, bring in operational efficiency. AI is going to be complementing that thinking, and so it is not about whether it is AI versus you; it is AI with you. So the better you are trained in terms of how do you use this platform, the easier it will be for you to grow in your career over the next 20 years. So while my generation and probably Dr. Akhil's generation, we came at a time wherein we were taught computers in school. You may remember Fox Pro, Lotus, Pascal. These were some of the languages that we were doing in our between standard 8 to standard 12th. And so when it came to working with computers, it came quite seamlessly for us. But and the same advantage this current generation has, that when you come into the workforce, you will not face challenges adopting to these technologies as much as probably someone like me will face. Okay, and trust me, I'm not that old, but that is the nature of reality. That is the nature of reality. The organizations are getting younger. The people who are running organizations are getting younger. They are tech natives, they are digital natives, and they will expect their workforce to also be very, very comfortable and hands on with this technology. So if you are a person who sees yourself to into roles such as product managers, technology consultants, data scientists, chief technology officers, or even if you are someone who's looking to start your own company, a startup, I think this is a degree which is going to give you, as I said before, a competitive edge over a otherwise massively flooded MBA market within this country. So it is not about where you do it from. It is about how well the degree has been curated. As Akhil said, we have worked with the industry. We have a partner in HCL who will make sure that we get trained properly, we get trained by the best people. And if these two things work, then the synergistic output of it is that you will have a great career. So the industry is asking for it. The question is whether you are ready for it. And if you are interested in it, I'm sure Dr. Akhil and myself, we both are very much approachable. You can connect with us on LinkedIn. You can fire your questions at us as to why I should do this, and what will be in it for me. There are a lot of other additions, by the way, Dr. Akhil, to this program that we are offering a 2 week immersion at IIM Sambalpur, which is also our academic partner. And this year, 100 students traveled there, and they underwent courses such as AI for managers, decision making techniques for managers. So, we have the perfect partners with us, with HCL and IIM Sambalpur, to really, I think the next 2 years we can really come up with a cohort which will stand out within the industry. And also, if you see, if you are one of the toppers of your engineering college or your technology college, ILM University is offering full scholarship for the top three people in their college. So if you're ranked within the top three in your engineering or technology college, then get in touch with us, and you will be offered a full academic scholarship for that. Yes, and I think that's it, Dr. Akhil, from my side.
I think that's a huge excitement for the students, I think, because now the scholarship has also been announced. I think it's
Yeah.
a good game changer for us. So with that, I think we will close the webinar here, and I think all the students have understood exactly how the STEM MBA is going to be different, and I'm sure you have understood exactly what we are going to give. With that, I think we are closing the webinar. Thank you so much, Dr. Neha, for coming.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Dr.
thank you
Akhil.
for all the students for listening to us in LinkedIn in YouTube Live. Please, you have any doubts, please write in our chat box, or you can correct us in LinkedIn, web, or whatever mode you possible. And please contact us for further